Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin Cash. Now, in the previous video, we were talking about this possibility of a reversal to the upside, and it has come in now. So we need to discuss what this is going to be looking for in the future and what needs to actually happen to confirm that move, because it's not confirmed yet. But I just want to play you that video before we jump into the analysis. Now, we did also discuss in the macro video the possibility that we could see a break to the upside here. Now, what we'd be looking for within this is we'd be effectively treating this move as a wave one. If this is the case, then we'd be looking at this as the potential of a B or W, an X, and a Y for this wave two. Now, what we'd be looking for here is the same idea. This is A, this is B, this is C, except what we'd want to see off of the back of this is we'd want to see a nice strong 5-wave move to the upside. So just another reason why maybe you should hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn on those bell notifications. Okay, so let's get into the analysis now. Okay, so like we were talking about in the previous video, we were talking about that potential that we could have this either as a wave one or a wave A. This is a wave two, and then looking for this push to the upside. Now, we were talking about that potential that, we could see continuation, A, B, C. Now, this wick over here is only on the Bitstamp data here. I am using this because it has more data available for the macro analysis. And now what we're looking for is effectively, if we want to say that we have a confirmed 5-wave move here, particularly between this 1 and 3, what we need to see is a move up towards this 264 region. Alternatively, we have actually already come up towards this 121, which is sitting here at this 186. So we need to be careful that it's not just a corrective move. Or alternatively, one of the other options is that from further back here, what we could actually have is a corrective move where effectively we have this as an A, B, and a C, and then we're still within a 4th wave here. So we need to just be aware of these different possibilities and what we need to see happen. So what I would want to see is, if we want to argue the bullish narrative here, what we'd be looking for is that this is wave 1, we'd be looking for wave 2 here, and then what we want to see is a move up here towards us 264. So we haven't moved up that high yet, and the internals really aren't indicating that we're going to hit this higher target here unless we follow the really bullish count where we're actually looking to extend out here. So we're going to go over those potentials first, and then we're going to talk about that bearish scenario where we could actually see this play out to the upside here and then reverse down and actually look to hit this invalidation point of this 87.32. Okay, so let's get into those lower degree counts now. So what we'd be looking for within this, I'm going to come down here into the hourly, is that effectively what we'd be having here is that this would be a 1-2 and another 1-2 here. So if this is the case, what we'd be treating this as was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a third, fourth, and a fifth up here, and this would actually be the blue count looking to complete the yellow count wave 3. Now, if this is the case and we're looking at this as a completed move here, what we could actually see is that this is 1, 2, 3, and we'd be looking for a 4th wave. Now, our 4th wave target area would be this 170 to this 142 area. If we start to lose this 142 area, or this structure becomes too big, it starts to become less likely that we are in this 4th wave. Now, if we do manage to maintain these levels, what I'd actually be looking for here is that if we do actually come down one more time like this, this 170 level could be a potentially interesting zone as a possible 4th wave target, and then this 5th wave to the upside. Now, the target to the upside based off of this 382 at this 153 area would actually be higher up here towards this 235 to this 212 region. If we do look to move down deeper here, technically speaking, it would still be viable as long as you remain above this 142 region where we could see continuation to the upside. But what we need to do is actually see, that confirmation of this 5-wave structure to the upside here, and then a break of this 4th wave level if that is the case. So this would be looking at the internal, saying that we're potentially looking for that break to the upside here. Now, this would not hit that target. So this is why I'm just being mindful that if we are looking for that breakout potential here, what we actually want to see is a bigger move to the upside. And if I come onto the 4-hourly, we can see is we want to get a move up here towards this 264 region. So unless this has got another extension in here, it would be unlikely that we would reach that. So we need to just be on the lookout that if this does complete as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, what we would be looking out for is the fact we could have a flatcher and that continuation down. But like I said, for as long as we hold 87.32, we can look for the potential that even within this, this could actually become another one. We see a three-wave move to the downside, hold support, and then look to push to the upside for a bigger third wave. Now, that would be the extremely bullish case here, because effectively what we'd then be looking for is that this would be 1, 2, this would be 1, 2, and that would actually push this target up higher here. This 1.618 would actually be higher at that point. Now, that would actually be valid for as long as we hold this $91.13. What we need to be cautious of here on the bigger picture is that effectively what we could have here, particularly if I come back onto the daily and we have a look at this, is that this move to the downside could actually be looking to be a fourth wave. So if we are looking at this as a possible ABC down, we could argue that either we have this blue third wave actually complete here, and this is ABC, in which case we've actually come up to this region of this 382. So we need to be on the lookout that if we do reject from here and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we actually look to push down towards this $60.15 to this 43.07. This could tie into the idea that this whole move is a bigger fourth wave here, and then we actually look to break down in a bigger 5-wave structure. So we need to be on the lookout here that if we do break down and we take this low here at this 91.98, what we could actually see is a 5-wave move, which actually looks to push us down into this lower region here, which would actually align with this 0.854 sitting at this 49.94 region, and that would be looking at this basically as a bigger ABC pattern to the downside. So our 1-to-1 is actually down here towards this 27.49. So for as long as we actually fail to take previous structures here, in this case it would be this wave 1 low, which would actually be here at this $263. We can look for that potential that we could continue to roll over here and even look to push down towards this $60 to this 43.07. So we need to just be aware that this is still a possibility with this downside continuation here. So if we want to argue that this move to the upside is becoming a breakout in a bigger way here, we need to see those targets hit. Now, there is always the potential, if we are looking at this as a third wave, that we could actually see some extension within the waves, where effectively what we have is this is another 1, 2 here, and this third wave is actually extending out. But what I'd want to see for more confirmation of this would actually be pushing up towards this 227 level. If we move up into this 227 level, what it could be is that actually we have this as an additional fourth and a fifth, which would be looking to push us up towards this 259 to this 238 region. And this would actually fall into that idea that this third wave is actually extending out. Now, this would mean that this white count would all be this yellow third wave up here, which would tie into that bigger idea that, by the time we have an additional fourth and a fifth, we would actually be looking to target out some of these higher ranges here. If I come back onto the daily, where we're looking for this 1618 level here at this 264 for this bigger yellow third wave. So we need to be on the lookout for this. If we do move up here, we could actually tie into this idea of having a 5-wave move. Now, if we do actually develop a 5-wave move off these lows, this would tie into the idea that this could be a wave A or a wave 1. We come back down for wave B or wave 2. If it's a C wave, what I'd be looking for would be this 404 as a 1-to-1. If it's a third wave, we have this 815 level as our target area. So that would be looking for a bigger break to the upside here. So, there is that potential that we could see this come in, but we need to see a little bit more confirmation. Just this single move to the upside here doesn't mean a lot in isolation. If we come back down in 3 waves, find support above this low, and then we start to form good structure here, pushing up past this 1618 region, it would be more likely at this point that this would be a 5-wave structure. And once we have a 5-wave structure off a low, this can only be an A or a wave 1 in this case. So once again, this would be looking for an A, B, and C, or alternatively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want to just talk about some other areas that I'm keeping an eye on here. So if I just turn this back onto the daily and we come back into the 1 hourly, what we can see is on the daily CPR, we are currently above these central lines here. Now, as long as we're above these, we could see price be gravitated to the upside here. S1 is at this 205. S2 is at this 228, S3 up here towards this 263, and S4 up here towards this 287 region. If, however, we start to lose these central CPR lines, which are sitting here towards this zone of this 175 to this 162 level, what we could see is price could actually be gravitated back to the downside here, where we see a move come back into this R1 line, which is sitting here towards this zone of this 146. We have the R2 at this 109, R3 down here towards this 87.29, and R4 lower down towards that $51 region. So this would tie into that idea of still having continuation to the downside if we see some of these key levels looking to be hit, though these are only viable for today. Now, if we have a look at the weekly CPR, we can see that these targets have all been met. So if we did actually see a move back down into this level, we have quite a range here between this 119 and this area here of this 93 that we could actually look as a support zone. So if we see price come back down into these levels here, I'll be looking out for that possibility that this could all be a 1-2, and then we look for that bigger push to the upside for that third wave or that C wave. So just worth keeping an eye on as time progresses here. Looking at the monthly CPR, we can see that also all these targets have been hit here. This spread is slightly higher here from this 138 to this region here of this $89. So if we did see price come back down in here, we'll be keeping an eye on some of these levels here, particularly these higher ones. So this 138, this 131, this 122, and then these central CPR lines here, which is sitting between this level of this 115 to this 113 level as potential support if we're looking for that push to the upside. Alternatively, if we do look to break down, I'd be looking to see whether we have an interaction with these lower ones here. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.